Hello and welcome to Legalise Vaping by Legalise Vaping Australia. I'm Emilio Garcia, and that's Brian Marlow, who heads the entire enterprise. How are you?
Holy shit. Yeah, I'm good.
Busy?
Yeah, really busy.
Good. With what?
Trying to make sure that we can get fucking vaping legalized.
Right, and that's going to be easier now because there is a Senate Select Committee into tobacco harm reduction, which means that instead of a bunch of unelected anti-vaping bureaucrats, we have elected members of the Senate actually looking at the evidence. And the evidence is overwhelmingly on our side. So,
yeah,
good stuff.
so it is a step in the right direction. It is not the final nail in Greg Hunt's coffin or anything like that. So, as much as we should celebrate this, I don't want vapers thinking, oh, job done.
Yeah.
Essentially what it means is the Senate have set up a select committee into what they call tobacco harm reduction.
Yep.
They want to look at ways to reduce smoking rates. They want to look at the evidence on vaping and see if there's a credible case that vaping should be legalised. Now, we all know that it should be.
Spoiler alert.
Funnily enough, Legalise Vaping Australia supports legalising vaping in Australia. Nation shock. But what it means is that vapers will be able to make submissions. They will be able to tell their story. They will be able to tell people how they quit smoking with vaping, and how all the other methods didn't work for them, and their own quit journey. Yeah. So it'll be your chance as a vaper or a vape shop owner or a vape juice supplier or a distributor. It'll be your chance to have your voice heard with policymakers, not with unelected bureaucrats that have a position who are unanswerable to anyone, with people that you can vote for, who you have power over.
Yeah.
So it's a really big step in the right direction. You must make submissions. If you're watching this video and you don't make a submission, why? I'm serious. This campaign's been going on for 3 years. Make a fucking submission. It took a lot of work to get this up. You guys need to arc up and you need to make submissions. We've created a portal. We'll be rolling it out shortly. You will be able to basically punch in details around, your name, how long you smoked for, all that kind of stuff. It will pre-populate a submission that you can then add your own personal story to, so you can tell your own personal story and make a submission straight to this inquiry. So there are no excuses for not doing it.
Correct, and I mean one of the tools that anti-vapers have had at their disposal is basically being able to drown out the voices of reason. So they go on a show unopposed and say, well, vaping is dangerous, nicotine, there's no credible evidence that this helps people get off of cigarettes, and nicotine on its own is dangerous, all these things, and there's no opposition. So they can just promote that narrative without us having a say in the matter. But with this, I mean, we're going directly to the heart of government, of the people that actually get, people that have the power to legalize it. So it's a totally different situation than we've been in before.
It's also one of the things that anti-vapers do is they say, oh, look, there's only anecdotal evidence that vapers have quit smoking and that it helps people quit smoking.
Right.
Well, there's 500,000 of them. So, sure, if 1 or 2 people said that, that's an anecdote. 500,000 stories, all similar.
That's what we call data.
That's what we call data. So that's why every single one of you needs to make a submission. There is no excuse for not making a submission. This is one of the key things that can help us get the next step forward towards vaping legalization. If you don't take action now, you may as well kiss goodbye to the vaping community that you know and love. And I'm dead serious about that.
Yeah, it's on life support. Right now it's make or break. And we shouldn't even reduce it only to people that vape. Because I know there's a lot of people, you and I, for example, are not vapers, but we want vaping legalized because we know what the public health ramifications are. So even if you're not a vapor,
if you've got a family member or a friend or just someone you care about that quit smoking with vaping, you should be making a submission.
Even if you don't and you care about Australia,
you should be making a submission. Yeah. There is no excuse to not make a submission to this inquiry. The more submissions, the better. The more that we can show the overwhelming support for vaping legalisation, the better. And the easier it will be for us to defeat the health minister.
Correct. And speaking of politicians we do like, Matthew Canavan and Holly Hughes. They are the ones heading it, so show them love.
Thanks to them. Also thanks to Senator Abetz, who will be tabling our Senate petition later this month.
It's huge. Yeah, we've been building it up for a while now. It's paying off. Nothing that we asked you to do is not with a purpose. So, steps in the right direction.
Yeah.
But there's an alternative, and that's the TGA's plan. Now, we've talked about this before, and I think it involves something like a Pfizer vape that tastes like Pepto-Bismol or something like that?
Just as a quick recap, because we have spoken about it a couple of times, the TGA's proposal is that you can only access vaping products as a prescription product if it's got nicotine in it. That'll mean that you have to go and see a doctor. You'll have to then do probably a 1-hour consult paid for by the taxpayer, meaning it'll cost money. You will then need to go through all the reasons why you couldn't quit with cold turkey, patches, gum, spray, dancing in the shower, listening to Enya songs, and, you know, eat, praying, loving. And then only then will that doctor prescribe you nicotine if they're one of the 12 doctors in the country that know how to prescribe nicotine. So I hope you fucking find a good one. Then you'll go to a pharmacy. Then you'll buy a liquid. It'll be reduced in flavours and range. It'll probably be produced by a pharmaceutical company that doesn't know their fucking ass from their fucking elbow when it comes to vaping flavours. And your vaping shops that you know and support, and the international retailers that you buy your nicotine juice from, you won't be able to get those. So don't accept it. Fight back. Make a submission to the Senate Select Committee into Tobacco Harm Reduction, and take action in any other way that you can through our website portals.
I mean, the fact of the matter is we're making it really easy. We are, it's our job basically to make advocacy as easy for you as possible, and I think so far we've been doing that. But this is the final stretch, because this is basically the end of vaping. I think some people try to frame
it's coming to a head. Either we get vaping, it's coming to a head. So either we get vaping legalized in the next few months, or the health minister wins. That's it. So if you want to see vaping stay the way it is, where you can access your products, and you want it to be a little bit better so you can buy nicotine products at your local vape shop, you need to take action now.
Correct.
If you want the health minister to win and you want to go back to cigarettes, then fine. Sit back, do nothing, and let the TGA completely fuck you over.
Correct, because the TGA's plan, they say that it's a model for vaping. It's not. It's the death.
There's not a single country in the world that has adopted this model.
And it's also, they're just making it impossible for you.
Yes.
There might be a couple of people that go through the process, but it's arduous, it's humiliating, and it doesn't work at scale. So everyone who does want to continue vaping, either they're going to have to break the law to do it, which we don't recommend, or they're going to go back to cigarettes.
Correct.
And it's just not feasible. So what more can be said?
Get angry, take action.
Get angry, take action, and tune in next time for our next episode of Legalise Vaping. Thank you very much for listening. If you haven't already, please subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, really wherever you get your podcasts. You can also see the video version on Facebook and on YouTube, so subscribe there as well. And if you haven't made a donation, please make it. Every single cent that you give us is money that we put into advocacy and getting vaping legalized. This has been Legalise Vaping by Legalise Vaping Australia. Brian, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. See you later.